Hey up guys, you join me today about halfway through the build of my new Hotshot 2. Now I've not recorded the whole thing, I've not recorded me building the thing because there's already loads of videos out there of people building Hotshot 2s. Kit came out a year or two ago, and like I say, there's already loads of videos out there and they've done a far better job than I can do of building this thing. But I thought I'd bring you in here because I'm going to show you the electrics that I'm using. It will go in brushless with this one, so hopefully it's going to be nice and quick. And I'm just going to show you what servo and ESC I'm using and receiver and motor before I button it up. I need to center the servo as well. I've only just installed it, I've not centered it yet. So that's the servo we're using, a 15 kilo low profile metal body servo, metal body, metal gears, so it should be nice and reliable, nice and quick as well. Got a brushless motor in there, 4350 kV. Sounds a bit over the top, I know, for the Hotshot 2, but we've got the smallest pinion in here that came with the kit. It's a 13 tooth pinion, I think, that's in that. We can always step up and make it a bit quicker, but we'll see how quick it is. And we're going to go with a 60 amp ESC, that's that one there. Oh yeah, Dumbo radio, and so we need a Dumbo receiver as well. That's them. Right, so yeah, that's the receiver. So I'm going to get all this wired up now, center the servo, and I'll let you know when we've made some progress. Right, that's the electrics fitted. Took some doing, but I managed to get it in there. Bit of a tight squeeze. I'm glad I chose a low profile servo for this. It would have been even tighter with a full size servo, but yeah, everything's in there. I had to put the receiver on its side. I don't know if you can see it or not in there with everything being black, but yeah, I had to put the receiver on its side, and hopefully the power button will line up with the hatch on top of the Hotshot chassis when it's all put back together, and these wires will be out of the way of the prop shaft when it runs down the middle. Right, there she is then. We're looking something like now, getting towards finished. At least it's ready for testing anyway. I'm using these square Lipo packs, 2S packs. Fortunately, there's a couple of little plastic lugs inside there stopping it from going all the way in properly. So I will have to, so it goes into there and it stops. There's a couple of little plastic bits inside. You might be able to see them sticking down. I've just got to, up there. So I've just got to take those off with a Dremel or something, and then the square pack should fit in. Right, there we go. I'm calling that done for now. We're going to take it out for a test. So we've got 4350 kV motor, 60 amp ESC in there. The power button lines up nicely. We've got a Dumbo receiver, 15 kilo servo, full bearings, and some better wheel nuts on. But apart from that, it's pretty much standard. Nice tough chassis. Let's hope it holds up to brushless power. Let's have a look, give it a test. Sounds a bit rough, needs some running in, I think. Yep, I reckon that's going to be pretty quick. It's got the smallest pinion on that came with the kit. I think it's a 13 tooth, and I think we can step up to 17 or 18 if we want to with this. So we'll take it out on the 13 tooth pinion and see how it goes. We might need to do a bit of suspension tuning because the front, I think, is a bit springy. Yeah, front's a bit springy, back's alright. Yeah, rear's okay. Right, see you outside. got to tell you, I'm absolutely blown away with how well this thing performed. No breakages, no cracks. I've checked it all out. No cracks, no splits, nothing fell off, nothing broke on it. I think this big bumper helps at the front by protecting these arms, or wishbones if you like, from getting damaged when it had a few tumbles. But yeah, 40-year-old Tamiya design, absolute tank. Stood up to quite a bit of hammering there, and I mean, this brushless system is way faster than I expected it to be. It must have been doing 30 miles an hour even on the smallest pinion. So I'm going to leave it on that pinion. I don't think we need to go any bigger than that. It's plenty quick enough for me. There's a few issues though that I want to address. One thing was this front suspension here is, I think it's too springy at the front here. I think it's too springy. I think it was getting as it was going over the bumps, the springing of the suspension wasn't keeping the front wheels in touch with the ground as much as it could have done, as much as it should, and the steering suffered from that steering angle. Talking about steering angle, I'm going to try and do something about the amount of throw that the servo has. It's only got a small servo saver on the servo in there. It's only small, so it doesn't have much leverage, doesn't have much throw on it. And also I'm going to put the ball joint there on the inner mounting, on the ball connector on the next mounting hole as well, so hopefully that'll give it a bit more throw on the steering. And we're going to, I've got a program card for this ESC, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn down the punch. I'll leave the top speed the same. I'm going to turn down the punch so it's not as aggressive, so it's less likely to strip the gears, and I'm going to see if I can turn the voltage up for the servo as well. Yep, so I'm going to put a softer spring on here, adjust these ball connections here, get a program card on the ESC, turn down the punch and any other settings I think are appropriate, and see if we can turn up the voltage for the servo. So there we go. Look, I've got the electrics box out of the car. I just wanted to show you about this servo. It's a reasonably quick servo. It's just that the way the leverage is set up with these links onto the hubs, it just doesn't turn the wheels very quickly at all. So not exactly a slow servo. No, not exactly a slow servo. Pretty decent, I'd say. But we'll just see if we can turn up the voltage and adjust the mounts, the ball connections there. All the electrics stayed nice and cool as well, by the way, during the run. I know this is inside the car with a fan there, but we have got a bit of ventilation in this box. But I've kept checking the motor temps. That was nice and cool, and so was the ESC. That stayed nice and cool as well. So it looks like I've got to get into the receiver down here to get to where I plug the program card in. Right, let's see what we've got on here then. I hope you can read this okay. I'm struggling to read it with my old eyes. But we've got low voltage cutoff for number 1. Number 2 is start mode. Now I've already had a play with this. So number 2 is value 2, which is level 1 for the punch. So that'll be the lowest level. Brake force, let's have a look at that. Right, that's set on level 3, which is 75%. I'm going to turn that right down to 25 again, so it's not harsh on the gears. At level 1, there we go. Look, value for item 3, value 2 I want for 25%. There we go, so that's that. Max reverse force, 25%, leave that on value 1. So that neutral range, overheating settings, ESC overheat, running mode, as in forwards, backwards, etc. I'll leave those as they are. On the other side we've got some more options. Drag brake, I'll leave that. Timing and turbo timing, well I think it's plenty fast enough as it is, so I'm just going to leave that alone. PWM frequency is that? Don't know what that is. Same for the brakes, I'll just leave that. Motor rotation and back voltage. So this should make the servo quicker if I put it on its maximum setting. So what do I need? I need item 15, value 3. So I think it's already on that because I've been having a play with it. Oh, value 1. So let's change that. Okay. Right, let's try that then. Right, there we go then. I've had a fiddle with the program card. I've turned down the punch to 25%, braking force 25%, left most of the settings alone, but I've increased the back voltage to maximum, which is 8.4. So if you have a look now, yeah, I'd say that's good. I'd say that's quicker. So hopefully it will speed the steering up a bit as well. So I'm going to put it back together now. We'll have a look. Right, so we're all back together. Put a smaller spring on the front. Done the servo. Done the motor as well. So turn it on. Steering seems to be a lot quicker now. That's loads quicker than it was before, so I'm happy with that. Punch. Nice and easy on the acceleration, so hopefully it's not going to strip any gears. And suspension. It's a good bit softer now at the front as well. Yeah. So it's not springy at the front now at all. Although adjusting these mounting points for the steering has increased the bump steer quite a lot. So maybe I'll put them back where it was. We'll see. Right, ready for the next run. I'll see if